Hey everyone, this is Becca Kephart with Team DZ Discs and the Ladies of the Chains podcast.
This is Kim Janola from Team MVP.
And I'm Nova Polite of Team Ozone Discs.
And we're here to bring you commentary on the 2018 Utah Open presented by Prodigy Discs. This is round one, and our feature card consists of Catrina Allen, Jessica Weese, Lisa Fajkus, and Paige Bjerkaas.
This is going to be a rough round for our women today. The wind was up, it was blowing. You're going to see that in the scores.
All right, starting on hole 1, 711 feet. As you can see in the graphic in the corner, it plays down this long golf fairway. You just want to get it out in the middle. There's a fence on the left-hand side. Funny thing on this course, every time you see the driving range there, the net extends all the way to the floor, and if the disc somehow squirts under it, you get to come back to where you went under the net with free relief. There's no penalty stroke.
Kind of fun to start it on a grip it and rip it type hole. Certainly some danger to contend with, but a lot of fairway to work with as well.
Yeah, for sure. Speaking of gripping it and ripping it, Catrina Allen showing off her distance right there.
And you'll see on these approach shots, there's a bunker really kind of right in front of the basket. So a lot of danger. You really want to get it up and over that hill or lay up short of it like Jessica just did.
This looks like a really wide open hole. Like you could just throw one great drive and then one really good placement, and then you're gonna be golden. There were only 3 pars on the day for this hole for the women. The wind really affected it.
On a more calm day, that's absolutely the way. The basket is situated on just a little bit of a rise, and there's a bunker you can roll into short, and that plays as a hazard at this event. As you're going to see right here with the hazard graphic, she'll play that from where it's resting in the sand with a 1-stroke penalty.
Ooh, what a
tickling
run.
chains, tickling chains.
A great throw there by Jessica. Looks like a good, safe approach there by Catrina. Paige just wants to get close to the basket.
Yeah, I think she would have really rather that sat down next to the basket. She was getting away from her mini in a big hurry there.
Great putt.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a tough bogey save. You can't really get too high in this wind. She had to keep it nice and low, which means she's flirting with the tips of the grass there as well.
Yeah, and definitely a lot of roll-away potential down that hill if you miss the basket. Mm-hmm. But Lisa is known for being one of the best FPO putters on tour and showing it right there.
Paige Bjerkaas tapping in her par.
So we're moving on to hole 2. Lisa Fajkus with the only bogey. Everyone else pars. 369 feet. Jessica Weese opting for the forehand on this hole. You'll hear us talk a lot about there's just a lot of bunker danger, a lot of water danger on almost all of these holes. So they're actually throwing over some water right now. But looks like everyone has gotten over safe.
This forehand play is going to lay up just a little bit on the left. Have a good look for the second shot.
And you can see all those bunkers in front of
really
Paige
hear
there.
The wind, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Looks like Paige went out. We'll have to see where her lie is.
Yeah, that looks like it went into that pond that's on the back side of the green. She's, with her meter of relief, she'll have a little bit of a tester for a comebacker, no doubt.
What a funky putt, but looks like she landed right next to the basket.
Yep. Only birdie on this hole.
That is a great birdie.
Paige Bjerkaas lining up.
Ooh, good run.
Not quite getting the the bogey save.
Yeah, it's hard to putt uphill effectively with your feet at that angle. That was a pretty severe incline. And you have to worry about the wind on top of that. That's going to be a challenging putt either way.
But Lisa makes another good putt there for her par. Paige with the unfortunate double bogey after going out of bounds, and Catrina just drops in her par. So like Kim said, Jessica Weese with the only birdie on that hole out of the field.
Hole 3, it's a 405-foot, showing here on the graphic as par 4, but the course is listed in the caddy book as a par 3. The irrigation canal that you see there with the culvert opening is playing as free relief for the entire tournament. Players can take lateral relief should they find themselves in it, and that's a safety issue.
Just see the flag whipping back there. Hear the wind in the microphone. This is a challenging day.
That's a very nice skip. Spotter says yes.
Looks to be just about a perfect second shot there for Catrina. She should get an easy par.
Yeah, about the only issue on this green are the two trees flanking it.
Paige with the CTP drive here. We'll see if she gives it a little run.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was definitely a good run, but
I'm really happy to see Paige Bjerkaas out again. She's spent a lot of time back home just working on her education, and we haven't seen her in too many videos over the past 2 years or so, but she's really good. I got to play with her twice this year, and it was great, and I'm really happy we are seeing more of her this year.
Yeah, if you haven't gotten a chance to watch it yet, I encourage you to check out the Beaver State Fling FPO footage that the disc golf guy put out. That round one, Paige has just some really, really great shots, and it's a really fun watch. And we're moving on.
Wrap that up with a star par. There were no birdies on this hole in FPO today.
Yep, and there were 7 pars, and we just saw 4 of them.
So on to hole 4, another very, very long par 3, 453 feet.
And the question on this hole is, at what point do you want to cross this pond, which runs along most of the left side of the fairway?
Ooh, that one goes out of bounds. They're probably going for that right side kind of safe zone. Lisa hangs it out here.
Yeah, that's going to need to either turn over a lot more, and it just does not. That's going to be out of bounds.
Yeah, she was going for the left shore, just trying to set herself up for a good approach, and that one just didn't make it.
She'll cross back over the water towards the basket, giving herself a chance to not have to putt at the water, which is, well, at the closer water anyway.
Yeah.
Kind of water everywhere.
Thank you, Spotter, for remembering where the camera's at.
Look at these drop zone signs. I love that.
Those are super cool.
Oh, where's that gone?
She gets the green.
It's just so
outstanding.
It's so visible. Most of the time when you see drop zone markers, they're just flags that could easily be mistaken for like a Mando flag or an out of bounds for a hazard flag. That's very visible.
So close there for Catrina. Paige looks to be just outside the circle on this one. Bang,
Nails it.
bang.
Outstanding.
It was a well-constructed point. I'm getting into my tennis mode here. Well-constructed hole.
Yeah.
Just a little bit high. I think it says a lot about the conditions that Paige has played this hole about as well as can be expected. And yet she's bringing in just a par for all of that effort, including that outstanding putt.
Yeah, this averaged 3.86 on the day for FPO, so almost a stroke above par.
Yeah, only 6 pars, and we saw one of them. And it's a challenging hole.
Speaking of challenging holes, we're on to hole 5, par 4, 696 feet. It's got a really, really skippy fairway and green.
That is correct. This fence that you see on the screen's left, on the fairway's right, marks the property line. That is OB. And as you can see, that short golf grass really lets a disc slide. And if you get the wind under your flight plate on a right-to-left line, it is possible to skip all the way across that and find the water on the left side of the fairway.
That is just a bomb.
Yeah.
I think we often forget just how far Catrina can throw. I mean, people, rightly are kind of talking about Paige's distance of late because she's really been crushing, but Catrina really can put it out there,
Absolutely. I mean, the first 3 drives were flat throws up the fairway, and Catrina outdrove them on the hyzer line, hanging it out over the right-hand side of the course. Oh, come on, disc. Don't do it. Don't do it.
I didn't do it.
It listened. Paige Bjerkaas bringing it the rest of the way up the fairway. That's going to be a nice place to be.
See if Cat can capitalize on that excellent drive.
With another excellent drive. Again, hanging that big hyzer out there. Skipping just up to the circle 1 marker.
Yeah.
Oh, I've got a bad feeling. I don't like this. That is...
Spotter says.
What's it? That is 2 OBs.
Ooh.
Spotter says no.
Oh, that's rough.
And that's so easy to do on this hole because anything that hyzers is going to be moving towards that water.
Yeah, no, it doesn't help that the wind is blowing towards the water.
That one sat nicely for Lisa.
The grass is mown not so short right there on the basket.
Yeah.
Is that a deliberate choice? I don't know. Or is that just the shape of the ball golf fairway?
Yeah. Nice safe run there by Catrina. She probably maybe wants that
Good
back.
comeback.
That is the best putt for double bogey you'll see all day.
Yeah.
And that's a rough feeling to be... I mean, she played the hole with the exception of getting wet just as well as anybody else. And she's going to walk away with the 6 to 4s just because the disc got wet 2 times.
Another good par from Paige.
Yep. Really good par there by Paige. Catrina with her comebacker will also card a par. And Lisa as well. So all around, for all the danger on that hole, played pretty well here by our featured card. And
Yeah, you would think a 696-foot par 4, there'd be somebody to throw 325 a couple of times and get a birdie, but not today.
So on to hole 6. This is one of the holes that I think about when I think about the Utah Open. You've got this island to hit. It's just 261 feet, but a relatively relatively small area to hit.
It just bounced out.
Yeah,
If only the barricade were a tiny bit higher.
right. See if Cat can land the island.
Her body language says no,
Little
and so
too-
does the on-screen graphic.
Yeah, a little too much juice on that one. So just is our last chance.
Coming around the other side with the forehand.
And there she goes. Excellent throw. And this is kind of one of those holes that you're probably going to see either a birdie or a bogey on.
That's right, there's one par.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you hit that island. Oh,
Oh my goodness.
Almost did it.
I love that she's just running everything.
Yeah, was the par a circle 3?
So, let's see if Jessica can convert the par here, or excuse me, the birdie, and she
Yeah.
can.
Big shout out to Amy Bilodeau, Tina Stenitis, Karina Knowles, Ruby Hall, and Jaylene Thomas for being our other birdie players on this hole today.
Yeah, people watching at home, you see a 200 to 300 foot island hole, and you think, well, you just hang a big hyzer out there, you spike it in, you drop in your birdie, and you go home. It never seems to play that way in the round.
Yep.
It's a lot easier when practicing.
So a 2-stroke swing there in Jessica Weese's favor. And we'll move on to hole 7.
This is a longer par 3, 546 feet. It starts out with a water shot, but it's more of a psychological water carry than a test of ability. The real question is, where do you want to land on the other side? How much do you want to bite off? Do you want to throw flat and leave yourself with a longer second shot? Or do you want to hang a big hyzer out there and get some distance from right to left and get a little closer to the green? And what this is basically going to do is change the difficulty of your second shot. Unless somebody trips and falls down on the tee pad, there should be nobody going in the water here. And there's Catrina Allen showing that nice big
distance.
skip.
Mm-hmm.
Showing what an overstable disc can do to get over to the left after a big hyzer throw. Get in.
Oh,
Great job.
You've probably heard this before, but there is a sand trap to look out for near the basket. Which means the longer your upshot, the greater the odds that you may hit it.
Great up.
mm-hmm. It just kind of went straight at it there, and it held the line really well.
You can use the elevation there as a backstop.
Mm-hmm.
And there as well.
Just inside the circle here for Jessica Weese.
Nice. Into the headwind and everything.
Yep, great putt.
I've heard people complaining about those outside right chains on the baskets, but the outside right chains did just fine right there.
Oh, no.
No chains up there, though, I'm afraid. After begging permission, drop in and sneak away with a bogey.
That can be so tough in your round when you're knocking down these long putts and then just let a close one get up on you a little bit. The wind may have pushed that a bit
Oh,
too.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah, a long putt into a headwind is no fun.
I think we can take the long out of there and just say a putt into a headwind
Yeah.
is generally no fun.
I stand corrected.
Catrina cleans up her par, and we'll move on to hole 8. Hole 8 sits on a mound, 330 feet, and there's a lot of danger on this hole. Water left and short. There's several bunkers, and of course you've got the roll-away chances as well with it being up on that mound, so you really want to get it just as close as you can.
That mound is a lot steeper than it looks. When we get up close, you'll see it for sure.
Yeah, and that first tree is taking some of the hyzer out of hyzer route out of it.
Absolutely. For being so small spatially, that tree takes up a lot of space psychologically. And that's a smart play there. Getting the angle of the disc to sit right under the basket so it's not at an acute angle and tips up and rolls away.
I think Lisa wanted to run that a little harder, but She also had the smart play.
I'm not really sure.
So looks like Paige may have gone out of bounds here. The card's discussing it.
Yeah, you're
And
safe.
There you go.
You want to check? She just looked.
And that is smart touring pro play there. You know your rule book. You know 802.06 paragraph H. Before you pick up the disc, have somebody come over and look and see if it's safe or not.
I love how Nova is like rules Wikipedia. Like everybody needs a rules Wikipedia friend. It's the best.
True story. I wrote that down.
Safe layup there from Catrina as well, which, I mean, it's so smart. Like, just outside the circle, if you're not feeling confident about it, really okay to just lay that up there.
Well, for most of them, they were positioned where they were going to be approaching with the tailwind, so you get a little bit more of a relief to just kind of throw it up there lazily and let it die.
Yep.
Absolutely, and given the wind conditions, I don't think it's a surprise or a knock on anybody that we've got a star par here today.
Yeah. Good score on that hole. So
we had 12 pars. Of 14 women, we had 12 pars on that.
Not surprised. So hole 9, this is a par 4, 819-foot hole, and it is tough. Got the danger left and right, and you'll see here in a minute we also have an elevated basket at the end. That needs to come back. Oh, it's fine.
None
Yeah.
too shabby.
Catrina can crush.
Lisa opts for that safe forehand on this hole. Really smart, fading away from the water.
Definitely, and it also keeps the wind from getting under it and shoving it towards the water as well.
Yeah.
Now, starting out with the forehand, really, that means she's pretty much playing for the 4.
Right.
And that's smart golf, because disc golf is not just about getting the disc out there as far as you can again and again and again. It's also about playing golf.
Yeah, and this hole averaged 4.79 on the day for FPO. So, again, another hole almost a stroke above par. So, getting a par on this hole is very good.
And after you've gone about 700 feet on 2 good drives, you've still got a very well-guarded elevated basket. At the end of your second long drive from the fairway, you've got to be able to pick out your spot to give yourself a good look in. And this is just the best.
That's awesome. Beautiful flex forehand there.
A little bit of tree love at the end.
I think even without the tree, it would have been within the circle on the
Oh,
cut
sure.
roll.
Sure, it would have.
Oh, I'm not contradicting, mind you.
It was still a great approach.
I was saying it was just that much better. It didn't even need a tree.
It's like Paige is just outside the circle here.
This is a gutsy run.
Yeah, it was a good run.
And she had the tailwind. You got to go for it.
Absolutely.
There
There's
you go.
that Lisa Fajkus putt. Like it. It's again, great putt, great par, but you can see how much she had to work just to get that 4.
These DGPT elevated basket canisters are starting to get a little dented. Do you think Steve is going to get a new set next year or just take these to an auto body shop?
I'd love to be on that phone call. And tap in par there for Catrina. Also very close putt there for Jessica Weese. They just played that hole extremely well.
Yep.
So 3 pars and a bogey. Jessica Weese in the lead by a couple strokes. And we'll see you on the back 9.